a man, baby. I don't understand, baby. Pay your bill and make you feel protected like I...
On the banks of the St. Johns River, there's a good look inside Everbank Stadium here in downtown Jacksonville. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So they will set up. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Well, it's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is, but to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Rip, go. Go, let's go. Think right open.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And the Jaguars are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 5 yards from the end zone, 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Hey, Ginger, touch!
Ball 1, this is Bashir Tootin. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
Hey, easy, Ralph. Hot.
Here's Lawrence. Touchdown, Jaguars! Travis Hunter, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 20. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They go play action with Hurts. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Off a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Higgins. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And the Eagles first down. A gain of 14. First down, Eagles.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Eagles first down. A gain of 22 yards. And the Eagles first down.
In motion left goes Smith. A first down carry for Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Hey, go. Darn, this is hot. Here we go.
Now Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. We're seeing quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
You look at this Eagle defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a first and 10.
Rim, 23.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. That's complete. He's got Tootin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Lawrence going to throw again. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
A shotgun snap and again to ETN. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Brought down that time by Nolan Smith.
At the Eagles' 25-yard line.
On play action, Lawrence. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run with ETN. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give him 6 yards and they do convert on 3rd. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
At the 11-yard line.
Hey, Lion.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jihad Campbell. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Eagles are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Elliott good on the extra point. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Barkley, inside handoff. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Here's Hurts to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. For this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Brian Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it first and 10. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Open man is Higgins. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a first and 10 here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Hurts. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Now Lawrence. On the RPO, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Wow, and that is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Their own 32-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Hey, 30 left. 11.
Here's Lawrence to throw. That is caught by Hunter. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. A give running right, Etienne. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Zach Baum there on the tackle.
2 yards on the
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 8. Etienne once more. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, 39 yards. And the Jaguars go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point attempt here still to come. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Up the middle with Barkley. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now a 2nd and 2.
Brought down at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup.
A handoff to Barkley. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Down the right sideline, Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 55 yards. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Let's go.
Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now we'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 28 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Nothing doing. Barely able to lost her a yard to hit the 35.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8.
Red on red. Hey, Kip, darn, this is safe right.
Lawrence. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Now we'll tuck this and run, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown in this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
And I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Amari Barno able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The defense shaking their head. It's not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And this is caught. It's gone. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Throwing is Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Now a 2nd and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Devin Lloyd, the one to get home and earn that sack.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that's going to be incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Now Lawrence to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zach Bond from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
I got him.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Take right open. Here we go.
Here's Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott good on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now this 4th quarter becoming very interesting. That pick-6 makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. Touchdown, Jaguars! Brian Thomas with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And an Eagles 1st down.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, He stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Josh Hines-Allen picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Here's second down. They go play action with Hurts. Under pressure, they got him again. Joshua Hines-Allen dropping him for the second straight play. Might want to think about blocking him here on third down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's third and long. They'll look to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
They're going on fourth down with Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. And it is a big letdown there defensively. They somehow allowed to convert on fourth and long.
A gain of 21 yards. First down, Philadelphia.
Here's Hurts to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. Well, took a real chance with that one, but it's incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Play action. Here's Hurts. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
First down.
Hurts. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Barkley is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet. But you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. Takes it all away, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Jaguars 45, Eagles 35.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Oh, but he can't get out of bounds. He'll have the first down, but he's brought down in play. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. They'll look to throw again. He's going to let it fly. And this one is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest where the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. And as this defense